let's do this. So, I'm Skybills, this is a recording for AGDQ 2019. This is going to be Super Mario Bros. 3 100%. My submission is with Mitch Flower Power, and we're gonna get going on this. I'll explain Rando as we go along here. So we're gonna start out with the pipes here. It's one of the most important features of Rando is the overworld. So as we see, some of the bridges have been changed around. There's normally a bridge there, so that's a pretty fun thing to note. So, we're using this newer version of Randomizer. Notice there's a fortress up there where it shouldn't be. And we have a boss bass in our first stage. Great. First thing you should know, GDQ. Boss basses are amazing. Crowds love the fish. They love the bass. You know, every time I've ever streamed this, they ask, what do we need? We need more boss bass. We always need more boss bass. So, we have a fish in the desert. Not good if you're a runner. Hilarious here if you're a member of the crowd. So. Oh! You do not want to be boss bass's dinner there. One of the most important things you need to remember is to be reactive, and the first couple of stages are going to be the roughest ones out there. Because... Okay, that was handy. So you're gonna find out handy things like that. So for example, that could have been perceived as a Kaizo block there, but instead, we may have had to go down for that extra cycle, but we use that Kaizo block to our advantage. We're gonna see a lot of different unique uses for stage elements in Mario 3 Randomizer. So, you're always gonna see us also go for the 3 stars. It could be a fun event for the audience. Could be a funny thing that could cause a donation to take place. So we're going to check our next pipe here. We're looking for a pipe that goes to the castle. That is not it yet. Lucky for us, I'm pretty sure we don't have to go through that mess. So we're going to advance to the next level here. And this is normally in World 5. This is the first fortress in World 5. But we have this lovely, lovely, lovely fort. A lot of people like to skip this when they play it casually. And for good reason. Aww. That kind of thing is going to happen as well. Sometimes we're going to try to apply speedrunning strats. And it's not going to go as planned. So one of the reasons why I may have backed out on that pipe is because A, I know this is 100%, but it's always good to know where things go where. So when we precisely want to find the last spot, we'll have the whole stage complete and we'll know where to go at the end. So me and Mitch are probably just going to be trying to traverse this here. You have to know how to do all the stages Small Mario only. Myself and Mitch have both completed this game as Small Mario. As you saw in the one stage I started out as Small Mario against Boss Bass. And right here, you may think to yourself, well Sky, what happens if there's nothing but mushrooms and fire flowers here? Well, my answer to that is, for this stage, we had our creator of this randomizer, Fred Coughlin, make sure that all of these had stars. So, anytime there's a required power-up in the stage, you don't have to worry about a soft locking here. Okay. So right there, just really smooth, 7-7-7-7. Now you're thinking at 100%, we're not going to see a lot of interesting glitches. Wrong. You'll still see some wall clips because that still counts as completing the stage. Typically want to stay away from Hammer Brothers. Oh yeah, also no auto-scrollers. Because really the last thing you want to do when you're trying to go fast is having to worry about auto-scrollers. Auto-scrollers aren't fun. We have 2 auto-scrollers included in this randomizer for stylistic reasons, but that's really about it. So again here, we're going to be submitting 100%. I'll be submitting Workless in a different category later, as well as a solo showcase as well. Each one of those will have differing variants in terms of time offers. So again here, going for the Star Train because it's randomizer. Anything's possible. We may need to die on purpose to reset something in the overworld, etc. So, good thing to have there. So again, I don't really have the power-ups I want to, so since this is Hundo, we're gonna oh, this is a level you never want to see, but we're gonna see it in Hundo. This is 7F2, a very dreaded level. So one thing with Randomizer is you can't let it shake you up. You have to just keep going. Even if something looks difficult, you have to think, okay, where am I going to take a hit if I see a certain sprite? And this is a very not nice situation here. Whoa! Holy crap. Okay, that was a worst case scenario sprite placement there. Whew. Okay, like I said, you have to expect the unexpected. Make sure we set the sprites where we need them to. Alright. Part of Randomizer is you're never gonna have an ideal item scenario. If it happens, it's very lucky. But you're always gonna have something that's not ideal, and it's kind of fun to watch that way. So again, really don't want to take on those Hammer Brothers small. So lucky for us, we're playing 100%. Oh, this is another level. This is a wild randos, I would call it to start. Ooh. Y'all are really seeing what the worst case type— oh my goodness gracious. What the worst case type of seed can start. Like, we've seen several worlds from World 7 already. And a few from World 5, so that's a thing. Alright, Fire Flower. Something you definitely want to have going into the Hammer Brothers. And I'll explain why the Hammer Brothers are so difficult to randomize later on. Still, got through that with flying colors, considering how that started. Alright, let's just advance to the next stage here. This is 5-3. Another stage you really only get to see in Hundo. So you may think to yourself, Sky, if Randomizer is so easy to lose your power-ups, wouldn't you want to use the Spade card game? And between myself and Mitch— there's another bass. Between myself and Mitch, the two of us have been through Randomizer so much, we were in the Final Four together in the most recent Randomizer tournament. And we both have seen so many different types of scenarios from Mario 3 that we're kind of used to the worst thing being thrown at us at all times. This is nothing that Mitch and I can't handle. As you see, I've seen some of the worst levels already. Very few power-ups, and nothing too bad so far. Alright, so we're just gonna clear out the other end of this board, and another boss pass! You know, GDQ community, you really got to see a very exceptional seed here. Boss Bass does not appear this often, and this is what the audience likes the most, so if we're talking about marathon luck, this is definitely applicable to that. And 1-1 is a rough stage in particular. Alright, get that P-speed. Alright, we're gonna take another star training for this. You know, we've seen about as many boss basses in this seed as I have in an entire seed, or an entire seed. Like, this one world is just so full of bass. Ooh, that lagged a little bit though. It's kind of tricky. Alright, so you'll see some worlds with some Hammer Brothers thrown in again. This is the special sprite swap feature. No one wants to see that though. Okay, cool. So we're gonna at least have one power-up going into the Hammer Brothers stages, and I'll explain why those are difficult in a second. If things ever get that bad, we can always enter a Toad House, but Mitch and I have tried to make it so we're not gonna enter any of the Toad Houses unless there's an emergency, and we've already removed all of these Spade card games. Alright, this is cool. So that was a normal Hammer Brother, that's good. And those hammers are actually not going to play as big of a role in Hundo as Warpless, but we might be able to use them to our advantage later on. So, again, same rules as in Mario 3 Vanilla Hundo. We want to kill all of the Hammer Brothers and make sure we clear all the stages. So this is another stage that would normally be an auto-scroller, so we get to see these in an entirely different light. Alright, pretty simple stage there. That was probably one of the easier stages. Hey, there's the Angry Sun. We're not going to see action from that though right now. Alright, final stage of World 3 here. And this is yet again another something that would be an auto-scroller, but since they're removed, we get to see how these stages function without it. Now again, to reiterate, we will be most likely seeing both the auto-scrollers here since this is Hundo. And another fun fact is that you actually will see at least up to 15 stages. Now, granted, only 10 of them were actually reused here, but up to 10 stages that were not included in the original Mario 3. These were included as those cards for the Super Mario Advance. They were the little e-reader things. Well, those levels got resurrected in this randomizer, so that's one thing that we can feature that vanilla Mario cannot, is those lost levels. Alright, whole world's complete. Let's go to the airship. Same thing here, no surprise that the airship does also not include an auto-scroller. It is truly the better way to play Mario 3, is without them. Alright, Wendy has been given an earthquake, but has only taken 2 hits, so any Koopa Kid can have an earthquake. And also, each one takes between 1 and 5 hits. That one was only 2. Which is great, because no one wants to face Wendy with 5 hits. So this is one we would normally read donations. We still get the little cutscene between every world. Still more than enough time to read them. Also have some funny but appropriate messages between, and some dad jokes. Those are fun too. So again here, just looking at how different the maps are, I thought that would be kind of a fun feature to show. That's a brand new one that's been included in the beta. Really not too much to see there. It's pretty close to the original port. Also too, if we want to do something crazy with the donation incentive, we can have a donation incentive for what color Mario is. I mean, here we have a pink Mario, but if people are that passionate about colors, I could propose a donation incentive for what color Mario, Mitch and myself will play as. Could be a fun and cosmetic incentive for the game. Oh, here's one that's normally in World 5, but up above. So right there again, just showing the fun ways to go through these levels. I very much disagree with that, but that's fine. Sometimes you can develop your own little speedrunning routes through these levels despite the sprites being swapped. Alright, so yet again, like the rest of this game, we took out the auto-scrollers because no one wants to see them. It's a fun way to get a clean ship in without having to worry about any kind of time implications for it. These are pretty short. Also a good way for us to get extra lives if we're really running short at some point. Not trusting the Hammer Brother here. let's see what's here. So I actually do have a use for the hammer in Hundo, believe it or not, and I'll explain in a second what that entails, because I am very happy I have this hammer set today. Because normally, what can hammers do? Open up spots in the overworld. Well, in Mario 3 Randomizer, hammers can break blocks, and you're thinking, well, Scott, you have to defeat all the levels anyways. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because in a world like World 5, I would normally have to go up that tower, come back down, and come back up, but because of the layout here, we're gonna break this block so we can get to World 6 and continue our Hundo without having to go up and down the tower twice. Kinda relevant. Also a fun new feature in Randomizer. So, no having to go back and forth between tower and sky, and again, you may think, how are you going to control that? Well, we're going to have our creator, F. Coughlin again, actually vet the seed to make sure things like that don't happen. Here, we got a little bit lucky for this edition. It was a fun way to show off the hammer's breaking lock feature and how it's applicable to 100%. Alright, so we're done with the bottom part. Now we're gonna go up and actually use this, so we don't have to use the tower at all. Alright, so right here you're thinking, why is there a fortress, or, more specifically, the Air Force from World 8 here? Well, those actually got turned into the mix of the levels, so we get to see some endgame content early on, which could be interesting, especially at the beginning of a seed, where you may not have those luxury items to handle this. Most people typically will key right this stage. Well now, because I've even lost my tail here, not any reason why I would want to lose it, but we get to see some skill jumps here. Alright, so again, we don't really mix up the bosses here. We still have Boom Boom at the end of this. Can't ruin that, I mean, it's canon. Alright, so now we're in the desert, you know, and this, you know, this darn fish will not leave me alone tonight, folks. Alright. You are really getting a treat, GDQ committee. I hope you know this. A real treat with this bass. Again, fun for the crowds, not so much for myself right now, but alright, let's see if I can get this. Okay, macaroni and cheese. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, okay? I may not, you know, do a lot of vanilla content, but I still got the speedrun strats. Enjoy what we call macaroni and cheese in Mario 3. Beautiful 7-6 clip. I will brag about that one. Alright, so this is one of those lost levels. This one doesn't offer much other than to show it off, but this was one of the prototypes in the game. And one of the bonuses that y'all will get to see should you accept any submission of the 3 that I'm doing for Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer. Again, not too much to this particular stage, but it's a prototype. It's for fun. Alright. So again, this is Hundo %. I will be recording a separate video for Warbless with 2 separate people, but again, we're doing all the stages here. This is by far the longest submission of all of them. There's the angry sun in Iceland, that's always fun. Ooh, okay, so this is one of the roughest Hammer Brothers scenarios you can get. The only thing that would have made that worse is if it was the water scenario. So again, you may be thinking, how are clouds useful? Might be useful later on if we get stuck somewhere. I welcome clouds also in Randomizer. Okay, this is a stage no one wants to see. This is 7-4, but without the auto-scroller, Fred had to actually reconfigure the stage to do something special. And that's to not scroll up and down, because in the vanilla version, the camera pans up and down, kind of get these front ways, sideways, diagonal, but Fred reconfigured the stage so we just kind of stay along the bottom here. No camera soft locks, no nothing. Fred made sure there was nothing that could go wrong with the way the stage's camera was moving. You ever see a lava lotus go? There you go. That's how you kill lava lotus. So, again, a little demo there of how the power-ups are changed up a little bit. We don't get to see too many stars underwater, so that can create some really funny things. Alright. So, back to the airship we go. We've seen World 3 and 5. By the way, this is vanilla, so blame the generator for this one. This is Roy's airship with Roy in it. But no earthquaking ability, so here you go. If you've never seen a Roy that didn't earthquake, here's your first chance at it. And that's it. That's Vanilla World 2, also known as Vanilla World 5. So hopefully you all have been enjoying this so far. We've seen a variety of stages with a variety of sprites so far, so I really feel like this Hundo seed covers all of the bases of Randomizer so far. Alright, so entering Pyramid first here. Ooh, this is the dreaded 8-2. Now, unlike Mitch, who might try to rush through the stage, he and I will have very different strats. Because of the way the sprite swap system works, we'll probably end up meeting up at the end because he's going to find something different than he would be used to here. So, don't worry about the strats, they'll all level up between me and Mitch. We typically always finish within a minute or two of each other, sometimes seconds apart of each other. Our very last bit race had us finishing 10 seconds apart, so barely pulled it out by 10 seconds against Mitch. But we've done it. Mitch and I have had very close matches on the Randomizer. I think our wins to losses are actually tied at this point. Alright, so again, another stage we get to explore without the auto-scroller feature, which is nice. Oh, I don't know how I didn't take a hit there, but that's Mario 3 hitboxes for you. Alright, this one's not too bad again. The sprite swap's gonna be a little bit of a thing in here. It typically is. I believe we still get the Lakitu at the end here. So, Lakitu with other sprite swaps here. Now you may think, are you ever going to fill up all the sprite slots on the screen, and how does the randomizer account for that? Well, I believe the generator knows how many sprites can be on the screen at the same time, and it will not overload the screen. At least I've never seen it happen too often. Okay. So here we go here. I should pay attention. This is one of the few auto-scrollers that has to be left into the game because otherwise the game breaks without it. This is 5-9. A lot of people hate this stage, so I'm going to take a sharp focus on this one. Also, a perfect time for donations. Alright, and thank you for those lovely donations. Yeah, that stage they can't take the auto-scroller out of, though. And that's a good thing. We don't want the game to soft lock. That would be a very bad thing. Alright, so yes, even the hand stages got mixed into the pool. This is way more interesting and worthless, but just still something funny to note, even in Hundo Rando. And of course, yes, the items are randomized. P-Wing's always a nice thing to have, even though I already did 7-6. Uh-oh. Oh, it's just the little fish. Okay, sometimes we get boss bass in this stage, and it is of the utmost concern. Here, not so much. We're gonna be ready to jump. Nice. So again, there are some shortcuts you can actually take in your stage here. I believe Vanilla does this by using a P-Wing. Unfortunately, because of where that sprite was cleverly placed, we have to do this. And sometimes that'll happen with where the sprites are placed. Oh! Oh, okay. So when that happens, let me show something off now. That kind of thing will happen every now and then. So let's say I don't want to do that stage right now. I'll do that and then come back to it when I have a tail again. So that kind of thing, unfortunately, is always possible. There was a bit of a lag on the screen that can happen there, but nothing we can't fix later, especially with a P-Wing in my inventory now. But we don't need to now, we have a leaf again. So that is one of the ways in which we will use AGDQ Cloud, because no run of Randomizer is ever going to be perfect and polished. So that's how we're going to use AGDQ Clouds when we play on the stage. So now we're going to go back, knowing what to expect. Probably going to try and keep the fish down on the lower level this time. So every time you go through this, you always learn something new associated with it. Here, it was to make sure to not spawn the fish in any of the spots you don't want the fish spawned. We're gonna go here and see if we can get a leaf. And we can't! Helps to know where all of the vanilla power-ups are, because they could be most things at any given time except for the special suits. So now that the fish is down on the lower level, and we now know about that Paragoomba that started the whole problem, we should be just fine here. So we wait here, we do that little jump, and it's just all about learning. If you die once, you remember where that sprite was, and you adjust for it like we did right there. Every death's a learning experience, and double deaths unless somebody really snowballs, which could happen even in a vanilla version. Could happen. Alright, so another fortress here. Here, I'm actually gonna take the overpass or something. Something I don't do too often, but since I don't really need a power-up right now, taking the upper path is no shame. Oh, I really want that star, but I think it's gone. So right there could have been an example of how I could have killed Boom Boom in another fort with a star. We'll see those star kills in many different forts that you won't normally be able to see vanilla, but I wasn't going after that, all those enemies there. So another one of these airships. Hopefully we get a good item here. I would like a hammer suit for my inventory for against Bowser, but who knows if we'll see it. Now, since we can't get at the other Hammer Brother because it's randomizer, we just exclude the one Hammer Brother on the right. It's no big deal. That's the only one we're allowed to skip in rando. And we may even have Fred just spawn that third Hammer Brother by the time GDQ rolls around. We could probably have him spawn the third Hammer Brother somewhere on the World 2 map, so... We can certainly get that, or just have him remove the boulder in the way as well. That way we do an official hundo. This alternate map is still very much in development, so we can get Fred to do a numerous amount of things upon request of the Marathon. It's pretty flexible. Alright, one hit. Those are always fun to watch. Alright, so already about halfway through the game on Hundo. And again, we'll make sure when the seed's vetted that every message is appropriate. Oh, there's the Hammer Brothers suit I was looking for. Alright, another particularly long world. This is world 6. Alright, so this is another lost level, and this one's funny because it's just enemy spam. I'm not sure why this was an original one of the levels. Little funny demo of the way pipes work there. So at this point, I'm not going to go for any extra lives. I'm going to try to avoid the star trains and such. But you always want to get those towards the beginning. Ice Fort in the Ice World. Nice randomness. So again, we can do some of our speed tricks here, but you have to be careful with some of the sprites, specifically in one of the flies in that stage. Mitch and I will probably take an alternate route, kind of what I just did there, to avoid anything like that from happening. Alright, since we have the power-ups, we're gonna go into the Hammer Brothers here. Now this one's just me in here. Works for me. Alright, so we have the pyramid stage here in Ice World. That's always a fun joke. Now, you may think this level might be able to soft lock as well, but Fred has left the Buzzy Beetles in here, so we can always get through them, and they always respawn as well, so... This was built to be soft block proof. And again, this just comes from years of playtesting and trial and error. This is a years-old randomizer at this point, and most of the bugs and or soft blocks that have already been found have been gone for a while. Fred's pretty diligent about getting rid of any bugs that can cause issues like that. Alright, so this is another lost level. I'm really happy I get to demo the lost levels for y'all. So this was originally supposed to be World 7-3 here. And this is, in my opinion, a much more difficult variant of that, with the way the landscaping is. That's more of a complete level than most of them we've seen. Okay, another World 2 world. Get to see the gold shell Koopas and enemy sprites here. Pretty cool looking. Nothing too special about that. Also, it's funny that all of our numbers are out of order. It's really gonna mess with our ability to count later on. Another hand stage here, I'll accept it, and it looks like they're all feelings in this one, which is good. Hopefully we find the third one at some point. Alright, this is a tricky one. This one... Hang on, I'm gonna do it first and then explain it. Alright, so there we have to buffer with a weight. Making sure I get the timing of that just right. Level's still pretty tough. Alright, cool. So there you have to buffer that Buzzy Beetle jump. If you go gung-ho into it right away, you're just gonna jump into a pit. You have to wait those couple of seconds for the Buzzy Beetles to pass through. Ooh, more Fire Brothers here. Toughest ones. Good thing we're not on water, we're only on ice. That's almost as bad as in water, but not quite. Hammer Brothers are actually some of the worst parts of Randomizer. Yo, I asked for the third hand stage and here it is. So we'll see if all three of the power-ups here are the viewing. It's always nice to have that security blanket that's the viewing there. And indeed they are. All three of them match beautiful. If we run into some really bad levels with bad sprites, we should be just fine now. Music boxes, sorry, I don't have a use for them. Not in Hundo, at least. Alright, same kind of skip can be used here. This is the Lakitu skip. So again, some vanilla tricks, much like 7-6 clip, can be applied here. Pretty normal looking stage. That one doesn't change too much. Wait here, and yes. Again, since we are doing Hundo, covering all the levels, we have seen nothing but the lengthier ones so far in terms of worlds, so hopefully some of these worlds are going to get a little shorter. World 4 shouldn't be too bad, World 1 is obviously not going to be too bad. World 7 is definitely going to be a thing, but not for the reasons you think. And a frog suit. We might do something funny with that, while we play AGDQ. Alright, this is the Navy ship. So here, look at this! Peace speed strats in the Navy ship. Something you would normally not get from a rando. Fortunately, I lost control of it there, but you get the idea. Unfortunately, we can't shoot down this boom boom now. We can't fireball it. We still have one more stage to catch here. We have to go back over to the left for a second after this. That was actually a really good spot for a star. So sometimes it'll speed up fortresses too like that. That star makes a big difference there. So we're gonna go back because 7's back up here. I'm doing this for a reason. I'm gonna see if this is a lead. Yes. Okay, so me and Mitch are racing, right? Let's say I want to do a warpless thing and show off the alternate end to a level, which I might do once in a while. We're gonna see rooms we haven't seen in a while, so I'm gonna show this off for everybody real quick. This is just for a recording video. I don't know if I'd necessarily do this at the marathon, but hey, might as well show this off. So let's say Mitch or I had this at the beginning of the season. We really needed an item of some kind. Like, we just felt strongly about it. we go and we get an item. Now, you know, I don't always pan out like that, but it's a neat thing to show off, and it might benefit us. Alright. World's complete. Let's move on to the airship. Alright, looks like we have the first airship here. Let me get back over here. Alright, cool. I'll take it. We got a ton of items stocked now, so it's no biggie. Alright, so you may think to yourself, why are we doing 100%? Why aren't we doing worthless if there's all these cool features? Well, 100% gets rid of all the RNG and kind of comes back to skill. Now, in Randomizer, yes, there's always some kind of luck involved, especially with this right spot, but you really have to see Mitch and I tough it out through all of the stages. You can't just skip it if it's hard like we would be able to in Worthless. You have to see us tough it out through stages, and I feel like that's something Hundo offers that Worthless can't. So I guess, like I said, we may joke around with this, so why not? This was not a good stage for that, so... I know I can get at that. There you go. You may see a comedy like that. Unfortunately, this stage is almost impossible to complete with a frog suit, so I can get that. We may only use it as a mushroom every now and then, but Mitch and I might joke around and do something funny with the frog suit if we find a good setting for it. And really, who doesn't love a good frog suit? So now it's just, if you see a stage, clear it. You have to really know your World 7 overworld to do this, which we do. We both do pretty well. Do we have a fish here? No, no fish. Or was that a fish? Sometimes I think I see Boss Bass here, and Boss Bass isn't really here, and vice versa. But this is another Lost Levels stage. I'm not sure where this was supposed to be. Somewhere in World 6. Probably just blindly take a P-Wing into the next stage because that's fun to do and we have 3 of them to spare. That didn't pay off here. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This is another Lost level. Like I said, there's quite a few of them. This one can get a little nasty and a little laggy. This is a water world. Well, half water world, however you would like to classify that. The things in here can get a little laggy and a little dangerous. So you always want to try and make sure... Ooh, let's get away from that anti-blooper. Hey, the P-Speed actually helped that throughout the whole process. Alright. So that's 2 islands clear in World 7. Just wanted to show off that map skip in case we felt like we needed it. Really? Alright, this should still be okay, I think. Alright, cool. I did not know why Mario couldn't get over that hump to start, but I'm glad he finally did. Another P-Wing. Let's have some fun with that. Not in the fortress, though. Yeah, that's more like the kind of thing you want to P-Wing over. So this is 8-1. We don't like 8-1 in Randomizer. Sometimes we'll even fall in a pit just to grab a P-Wing and do this. So this was definitely a random P-Wing well spent. And if we get 7F1 in its almost vanilla spot, it's going to be even better of a gamble. Alright, so this is the lava fort. So nothing too special here. There's a couple cool things that can pop up, but this is pretty standard Mario 3. Nothing spawned there, which is good. If something spawns there, it's usually trouble, especially if it's a boo. Not even a boo, a hot foot there, actually, would kind of stink. Alright, another fortress to complete. This is Fortress Island, evidently. Now, if I was feeling bold right now, I'd probably damage boost or cross, speedrun trick, blah 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 blah, but because it's randomizer and I don't know what lives I have, you want to hang on to your power-ups as much as possible. Now there I may have wanted to check for a star, but it was kind of an afterthought at that point, but that's another spot where a star would make a quick kill here. Let's see what we got here. Alright, another place we haven't been. This is good. Is Boss Bass home? Doesn't look like it, so this is gonna be a short stage. So nothing special this year. When Boss Bass isn't home, it's just a nice speed type stage. So this is a pretty famous stage. This is Vanilla 6.5. We have a tail going in, which is good. Do we have a bass in here now? Boss Bass loves to hang out on this stage for whatever reason. I feel like some of these stages have a higher spawning point for Boss Bass than others, so I would of course try to point that out to the crowd, just kind of do a fun facts type deal while I'm playing. One important thing about randomizers, especially a platforming randomizer like this, is we always want to keep going with the fun facts and engage the audience. It's important. Alright, I think we only have one more stage on the side. Alright, cool. Ooh! Now, like I said, sometimes enemy placement can be interesting. That was definitely an instance of that. Paragraphs are definitely something that over time, if you're a really good rando player, you anticipate. But as you see, it's not always 100% effective. You're always going to get that 1% of the paragraphs that just want to really give you a hard time there. Alright. Yeah, we gotta find our way to the other side of the island now. Yep, that was back up there. So there's one more pipe we haven't tried. This truly does test the pipe maze aspect. No, Mario, not in there. We got here. That was the end of this, right? Nope, that's back to the beginning. So you have to slowly, in your mind, just remove the pipes that you know you can't take. I'm gonna go back to this middle island. So in a way, this kind of becomes the race as well. Alright, there we go. And we're out. We are out of the pipe maze. Now in Worthless, that becomes even more interesting because it becomes a race of who's going to find the last pipe first. But again, in Hundo, at least nobody runs away with it. It's one of the things Mitch really likes about Hundo, is no one's gonna run away with the race for the most part. Okay, only a pair of stages left here. Now you may think to yourself there, Sky, you just took a noob strike. You didn't Superman jump, you glided over that. Yeah, you want to know why? Because not all the time the Koopa's going to be there. So unfortunately, that's the backup strat that we have to use, because you go blind jumping into that Koopa and it's a fire snake, you're dead. Better to be alive than not. Alright, so nothing else special here other than that deadly sun in the sky. Alright, another hammer that we might be able to use in our overworld later. Alright, second airship here. Really neat trick here on the non-auto scrolling ship. We can just fly over the top here and avoid that whole bottom spot altogether, which is kind of nice. Reduces the time of the airship. One reason why I like to keep the tail for Rando, you can just create all these interesting shortcuts. Alright, that's through 5. So what's left? We have World 1, World 4. We just have 1, 4, and 8. Yeah, that's it. We are almost done already. And keep in mind that this is Hundo, so this will naturally take way longer than Worthless. I would probably say because we're doing all the stages, it'll probably take twice the length of Worthless. So that's something to consider if you do want Mario Rando to be in the marathon. How much time you want to allot and what category you want, and what runners you even want. They're definitely all different experiences. The shortest one by a mile will be the Worthless showcase that I would do. And that's just me. Oh, double bass! That's not something you see often here. Is GDQ just gonna bring all the boss bass to this game? Maybe. Double bass is definitely scary. Good thing we didn't fall in. Alright, so this would have been a funny stage to guess a P-Wing on, but, you know, we're obviously not going to die and do it again. The stage is actually pretty short, but if you do guess a P-Wing, that is the quickest way to do this stage. I'll attempt to glide over parts of it, though, to reduce time, but obviously it's not as fast as getting a P-Wing or guessing a P-Wing on the first try. Still, that's a pretty short stage. Alright. This one's not bad. 3-4. Jet coaster jump here gets a little complicated, so most of the time here we're just gonna get the block unless there's something that we can just damage boost through. But again, it's kind of important to keep the tail, honestly, in Rando, just so you can expect the unexpected a bit better. You'll see me hanging on to my tail for dear life. It's just too good. It's too good in Rando to let go of. Okay, those were two pretty impressive and scary dodges there. Oh, and another boss bass! Could there be any more boss bass in this? And these are not obviously the water stage, that wasn't too bad, but dang. Too many boss bass. Too many boss bass. Alright, so here, it's fortunate that we have a tail. We're gonna just grab the item out of here. And it's not gonna be a whistle. Important thing to note, we don't have whistles in Randomizer. I believe you might be able to uncheck a box to put them in, but that's even worthless, that one in big. Alright, this is the toughest stage in Randomizer. Buckle up, this is not a fun one. It'll be fun for the crowd, of course, though. This is what I like to call the enemy spam stage. So just there's lag. There is lag all over this stage. There's never a dull moment for the crowd in here. And there's just gonna be some plain unfair moments in this stage. You just gotta grin and bear through them. Like right here. And somehow we escaped that predicament. That was... Don't know if I could do that again if I tried. And a bass to top it all off. That stage really had it all. This stage really had it all. Glad I grabbed... Oh, come on, game. Then just funny moments like that happen. So World 4 is going to end up being our last world here. It'll have the final airship on it, which is appropriate. We'll try the fire kill here, but we gotta be careful. All that jumping, though, not very conducive to a fire kill. Only 2 stomps on this, though, so not bad. Alright. Let's keep it going. So, for it to start off here, we do have fire suit, which is good. Alright, sorry about that little technical error there. So, not too bad here. So, nothing too special here. They couldn't do any kind of sprite swapping with these stretch moves, but what can you do? Can't rando everything. Okay, so one fortress out of the way already. There's a second one here. And really, there's only one more stage. I was going to say one more stage left that I'm dreading, so here it is. Here it is, GDQ staff. This is the lost level that didn't make the cut. Not because it wasn't complete, not because it was a bad level, because this level was too hard. They eliminated this level from the original batch of levels because it was just too hard. Like, they fully tested this and they said, Nintendo, what do you think? And this is a kid's game. And instead we had what Vanilla 7.4 is. Nice exchange, Nintendo. This is a level that many rando racers really wished Fred hadn't brought back. But here it is. Here's the hardest stage in all Mario 3. Even Mitch and Boo hate this level. That'll tell you how bad this one is. So we're in the home stretch here. We're almost there. One more water section left. This level's nasty. Ugh. Let's get out of here, please. Alright, and you come out of that pipe to 2 Hammer Brothers of some variety. Thanks, Fred. Alright. You know, I don't know which one of you from GDQ staff is going to be evaluating this, but I can't make this up if I tried. This is a thing? I guess GDQ just brings out the best in this rando, and I'll tell you, if this is any kind of indication as to what a marathon run would look like, y'all got it. I mean, what a Hundo run so far. Alright, so not too much to see here, although we don't like water levels as rando runners and rando races here. This one's not bad. Although I say that and then a Cheep Cheep tries to kiss me. We're gonna take a chance here and just grab something out of the inventory box. That's what they're there for. And that was a Sprite to which I have no clue what that was. Probably another Cheep Cheep. So again to reiterate, this is a proposal for a 100% run by myself and Mitch Flower Power. Ooh, that was like a round of quick draw with Kirby. So pretty quick Hammer Brother there. And again, we have to do the vast majority of those, the exception of the ones being on World 2. And even then, I'm going to ask Fred to remove the boulder from the end of World 2. Should this get into a GDQ, we'll make sure we take that out so we can get all the Hammer Brothers. So this is the original 7-3 now, as opposed to the lost level 7-3. Not too much to that one. I still think the other one's rough. Alright, last Hammer Brother, and we didn't get a chance to see any of the water ones, but that, you know, I'm okay if we see Hammer Brothers not in the water, or Boomerang Brothers, or Fire Brothers, or Sledge Brothers, I'm happy to not see them under the water. 7-1 with... I'm good at Mario 3. Alright, I'm good at Mario 3. I'm going to claim that I can stand up to Mitch Flower Power, alright? Alright, let's go. Let's just... I'm going to relish in that GDQ staff, right? Let's just take a moment to appreciate the fact that I've gotten 7-1 clip and 7-6 clip, and if I'm being very honest, I've never done a first try for both of them in any kind of Mario 3 passive ever, so we can all appreciate that in knowing that I did practice. Alright. Alright, just doing one last check here, and Mitch and I will tend to do this from time to time. Alright, cool. So this is the last level before the airship. Probably you should have hit this up, or finished this level before, but that's something that Mitch and I can kind of help each other out with as well. Oh! And I am not getting the item here suddenly. Let's just finish the level. There we go. Now we're complete. Alright, so thank you again. Again, just reminding myself that we're doing Hundo here. We've stayed true to that so far. Alright. Final duplicate here. This one's Ziggy. Nice hitbox, Nintendo. Alright, we're good to go here. That's the fiercest Iggy I ever saw. Alright, and on to World 8. And we do have the hammer suit for Bowser, which is nice. So those are all fortresses. I mean, we might as well use up these P-Wings. So right here, we have some hand levels for that level 8 flavor. Unfortunately, this is a boo in a really dead spot, so I had to take the extra seconds there. Just take the easy ride of there. And then this next room should be no big deal. Now, fun note here, don't fly too high here because you're gonna hit spikes that are actually on the ceiling that you can't see. So we get early door entry there thanks to the V-Wing. Alright, that's convenient. So now we have the final fortress from the end of World 6. This one's not too bad. A lot of people dread this level, but again, not too much of a variant in Rando. Just making sure we hang on to those power-ups is really important above all. So right there is an example of why you want to hang on to tail. You want to be able to buffer that glide down because you don't know what set of enemies you're going to have at the bottom. Could be a bunch of boos, which is not very fun to have in that room. No problem. Alright, so that's room 1 done. Actually, let's use our hammer here and see what's here. Okay, nothing but a pipe. That's fine. Oh, this is where it normally would be. That's kind of hilarious, considering. We're gonna take the fire flower here, because this fort's actually easier without the tail dragging. The tail does slow you down a little bit. While it's really good in most rando levels here, I still like the flower. You'll see Mitch probably doing way more flower strats, which are riskier, but usually ends up leveling out between me and him in terms of the risk-to-death ratio. Just missed the door cycle. Oh well, let's see what power-up we get. I'll take my tail back then, if that's the case. Alright. Pretty easy with the tail. Would have preferred the door cycle there, but it happens. So again, it's like that. We have to check every tile in World 8 there just to make sure there's not a level in there in Hundo. So this is the prototype for 1.5. You saw a regular 1.5 earlier. This is the original version of 1.5. I think this is more fun to speedrun. Alright, this should be— oh, this is lucky. Having a tail going into this fort is exceedingly lucky. We don't even have to play the level for the most part. Alright, cool. There was a lot of pipes in that section. So now it's a matter of where's the end, where's the middle, where's the beginning. It becomes a pipe maze once more. So where are we going, game? Yep, that's where we started. Alright, I guess we're gonna go over to the left here. There's a couple pipes we still haven't tried, like here. Ah, there's the room we're looking for. No bass there, which is good. Now, normally we would try for the item in this stage. If we were especially in Wormless, we would get the item in this stage. But A, it's an auto-scroller, and B, we're in World 8. So, we're gonna skip the item in Coin Heaven. Hey, did you know there was a power plant? So again, we're just accepting all these levels here. We're doing Hundo. So we don't have to worry about the hands being unlucky or not. So we're just gonna make our way on through this level. You may see Mitch try to clip this level. This level can be very inconsistent, especially in the randomizer. If you end up with a boss bass, a Cheep Cheep or something, Mitch will probably end up taking the same route I am right now. So, as we say in the speedrunning world, we get to see some DLC, just stuff you normally wouldn't get to see. You can still go through the quote-unquote DLC fast, though. That was fun. Now, unfortunately, that is unlucky that we got pulled by the hand, if only because it does take extra time. Now, there's only one real way to do this stage, and that's like this. We're gonna live on the edge for a little bit. We may die for living on the edge, but we're gonna do it anyways. Because why not? I did not know what those two sprites looked like together for a second. Alright. So, really, even in Randomizer, that's still the best way to clear that stage. So this stage normally does stink. Unfortunately, this is a little slower to do this stage this way, but we're towards the end here. Oh! Well, that was actually cool looking. I could get behind that. Yo, thanks, church. Buddy of mine, Church and Sarge in chat. Alright, last level, and it's tile number 1. Do we have a bass here? Might want to take a hit here, so we can try going a little faster. Y'all just had to witness a slow, short stage. Let's not prolong that. Let's do a P-speed stage instead. Alright, we'll call it P-speed-ish stage. Alright, final stage. Let's make it count. So again, slight deviation here, we're just taking the elevator up. Alright. And that's pretty much all they wrote. That's it. Alright, I think Mitch and I were going to do a 120 or a 125 for our estimate, so there you go. And that's even with a couple hiccups. 115.36, that's your Hundo percent. Myself, Mitch Flower Power. GDQ, let's do it. Let's have some fun. Should be a good time. It's up to y'all though. Thank you again for watching.